Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to the garden. Today we're going to do kind of an update to show you what's going on. Wow, oh wow, look at these dahlias. I cannot get over this, okay? Now I will be the first one to admit that I am very bad at growing dahlias. This is really the first year that I've been somewhat successful with them just because I have so very little space and I never seem to stake them enough. I never seem to give them enough care. You know, irrigation, fertilizers, everything. But this year, these things have really just become just one of my favorite flowers. Now that the weather is cool, we're not getting temperatures in the 90s anymore. The nights are really cool, and these dahlias are going absolutely bananas. If you're interested to see what types of dahlias I'm growing, I do have the other video, the complete dahlia tour. That was like, I think 40 minutes long or something, but if you're interested, definitely worth checking that one out. I've just been so in love with all these various shades of pink and peach and orange that I have here. Not to mention, now that the weather is a lot cooler, a lot of the pollinators are going absolutely crazy in the dahlia bed, which is great. I'm seeing a lot of just, straight up regular honeybees, which is pretty cool because throughout the season, usually I don't see very many honeybees, usually just bumblebees, but definitely getting a lot of the honeybees in here doing some awesome work with pollination. This season, I am really, really eager, really excited to save the seeds from the dahlias. If you've never, grown dahlias from seeds before, they actually have a lot of genetic information in there. And the fun thing about saving dahlia seeds is that you never know quite what you are going to get. Of course, I mean, you can make certain crosses and hope for something really nice. But as you can see, I just kind of let the bees do their own thing here in my yard. So next year, I really want to focus on growing these dahlias out from seed. Of course, I'm going to save all my tubers as well so that we can have these beautiful flowers again. But I think it'll just be a really fun and interesting project. Hopefully when I go through and harvest my seed in the fall, I'll get a lot of it. I might put some of it available on my website if any of you guys are interested in growing from seed. Moving on, we want to take a look at the hardy annual plant trays. First of all, forgive me for the color variation in this video because I recorded this over several days. Sometimes it was sunny, sometimes it was cloudy. I planted these trays about 2 weeks ago now, if I had to guess. There's a video for it. I'll put the card on the screen if you want to check out the video where we were sowing the hardy annual flowers. Also, in addition to the hardy annual flowers, we have our ranunculus. You can see I potted these ranunculus up in a tray. In the past, I've said, soak them. I didn't even soak these. I just potted them straight up in the tray without soaking and had great results. Put the video for that in the card as well, so you can click and check it out if you want to. But these ranunculus, they're almost ready to transplant. I actually need to find a place. I'm behind. Also, we have Lisianthus from seeds. Look at this circle. That's a Lisianthus seedling. I cannot explain to you how small these are. You probably can't even see them on your screen unless you're watching on a huge TV or something. Almost every single one of those cell trays has a Lisianthus seedling in it, believe it or not. Really, really hard to do, but I'm going for it. We're really just hoping for the best with Lisianthus seedlings. Also, we have things like calendula. I think this is the gold heart calendula. We also have a tray full of some of our other staples like bachelor's buttons, which will be going into the yard without any kind of winter protection. Other hardy annuals, we have our salvia sage mix, which is planted really, really close together. And honestly, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to separate this. I need to get more cell trays. We also have some ornamental cabbage that is going to be going into the hoop house as kind of an experiment. Lots of pansies this year. We got some of those fancier varieties. Also experimenting with Gerber daisies or Gerbera daisies, however you prefer to call it. Another kind of experiment that we're doing. These are just a generic type that I found. Other trays we have wallflower variety, mixed colored wallflowers, which should be extra fragrant. Technically a biennial, but we're going to grow them as a hardy annual. I'm going to leave those outside of the hoop house. We also have some scabiosa, Again, tons in different colors, Scabiosa this year. Really excited to grow those. I do believe I'm going to plant those outside of the hoop house. We also have some forget-me-nots. I have both the blue and the pink forget-me-nots. As you can see, the germination on these was great. We also have scented stalks. I am so sorry if I'm going really, really fast, but I just wanted to show you the progress of all the seed trays for the hardy annual flowers so far. We also have Icelandic poppies. The germination rate on these is not so great, even though we planted seeds that were primed. I'm just going to give it a little bit more time. Maybe they just need more time. Carnations are another plant this year that we are experimenting with. We have a whole tray of carnations that have germinated and are ready to go in their flower beds. Also feverfew, several varieties of feverfew this year, usually from the Vegmo series, so I'm really excited to see those. Should be really exciting. Nice variety and color. We also have some Love in a Mist. This is African Bride. As you can see, I overplanted this tray like crazy. It's going to be really, really difficult to separate. But, you know, it is what it is. Also have some Thai silk poppies that I probably should have direct sowed. Another super duper really, really exciting thing going on in the garden right now is our chrysanthemum bed. Now, for the most of the season, I have completely ignored and neglected the chrysanthemum bed just because... you know, it's just green, it's just sitting there, it's not, you know, a point of interest really, but our chrysanthemums will be blooming soon. They have initiated a flower bud, and even some of them are much further along. For example, you'll remember that we propagated some chrysanthemum cuttings last year. We used some of our regular just potted cuttings, you know, the decorative variety, and lo and behold, these are blooming. These are starting to bloom. These are a beautiful purple pink color. They look exactly like the ones that I bought last fall. And if I had potted them up in a pot and made sure to give them routine pinching, they would have looked exactly like the potted chrysanthemums that I bought last year. So I know a lot of people wonder, like, what do I do, you know, when my chrysanthemums are done? And this is an easy, super easy, excellent way to get your money's worth, because they're gorgeous and I didn't have to pay a dime for them. Just make sure that you're not propagating a variety that's patented, and have fun with it. Really eager to see some of those bigger chrysanthemums as well. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys want a full chrysanthemum tour. Whenever that happens, I'd be happy to do it. Moving on, we have finally some bulb hauls. That was hard to say for some reason. Anyway, this year we are going to be growing a plethora of tulip and daffodil varieties that are completely new to me. And the general process is pretty much the same. Basically, I do this trench planting technique where I kind of put all the bulbs in a trench and we arrange them pretty tightly together, and, you know, we cover it in dirt, and it's just a quick and efficient way to plant these bulbs, especially since I'm growing them for cut flowers and will be treating them as an annual. If you are interested more in learning more about the trench planting technique, just Google it. Not Google it. Search for it on YouTube and put Freshcutky in with it, and you should be able to find it. I already have a video for that as well. It seems like I've been making videos like crazy. Either way, got lots and lots of tulip bulbs and daffodil bulbs coming this year, which I'm really excited about. I know a lot of people ask me, where do I buy bulbs? And really a wide variety of places. This year, I ordered some from Floret. I ordered some ranunculus from Floret, which I'll talk about here in a second. But I also made a really big order from Dutch Grown. Again, this is not a sponsored video or anything. This is just me saying where I bought stuff from. I've had a really, really good success with Dutch Grown before. Last year I made a pretty big order from them, and every single bulb that I ordered came true to type, and they all performed well, so that's more than enough confidence for me to try them again and, you know, make sure I have the same results. Plus they have a really good selection, which I really like. So I do use Dutch Grown quite a bit. In the past, I've used places like Tulip World and Holland Bulb Farms. I got away from them this year just because it was really, really unreliable last season, and I wasn't happy about that at all. Some of the tulips that I'm going to be growing. First, we have the Columbus tulip. This was hands down one of my absolute favorites in the garden last year. I'm going to be growing it again. As you can see, it's very much a pink color, but when it first opens, it's got these tones and these shades of just this peachy cream color that make it absolutely stunning. And of course, as the bloom ages, that cream turns to a nice white, which is still very beautiful. You can see they're large and very double. So that's definitely a keeper. Another flower that I'm going to be growing is the Bellica or Bellicia. I've seen it written both ways. Anyway, it's just a nice shade of pink, kind of pink fringed with white. It's very pretty, and it was insanely popular with everyone that I gave them to this year. It was hands down one of the favorites of people that I kind of donated these flowers to. So I'm growing that one again. Also, of course, we have to have La Belle Époque, because that's like the coolest, trendiest, most popular flower right now, I guess. And rightfully so. I think it's really pretty. It's just, you can see there's these kind of pinkish mauve petals on the outside, but it's very much a kind of cream, peachy color. Definitely worth the hype. I think maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really like it personally, so I was able to get some of those, even though most places are sold out of these now. I had to order really early. I think I ordered back in like March for pre-sale for these. Anyway, I'm also growing the Copper Image tulip. Last year I grew Copper Image in a combination with Amazing Grace, which you'll see here in a second. It was also from Dutch Grown. It was in the Peony Party Pack, which was such a pretty combination of colors. These two colors are absolutely incredible. At first I wasn't sure if I liked Copper Image very much, but as it kind of ages and opens up, it gets a little bit more pink, and it just goes so well with so many different other flowers, so many ranunculus and things like that. Not to mention it's really pretty with the Amazing Grace tulip. The Amazing Grace tulip turned out to be another one of my absolute favorites. While in the video it kind of looks like, yeah, whatever, it's just a pink tulip. But as it opens up, it gets these kind of deeper tones of purple and kind of like a mauve, I guess, on the inside. They look beautiful with La Belle Époque also, one of my favorites. Moving into the daffodils, if you remember this season, we kind of had a rough start with the daffodils. They all opened to bloom and then it started snowing on them, and we didn't really have a long time. This year I'm going to be growing Precocious. This is another one that's a very interesting, unique pink color. I really want to focus on flowers that were interesting this year, because I did love the split coronas that I had. We're also going to grow Can Girl, which is very ruffly, and we are going to try Art Design. Very full, very double, very just cool looking. I don't know how else to explain it. Apricot Whirl is another one I'm really, really interested in seeing in the garden. Really excited to see the peaches and tones of pink in these daffodils. Hopefully they'll be beautiful. Another one we are having is Peach Cobbler. Another with the kind of peachy tones and the fully double flowers, and I'm really excited for Sunny Girlfriend. It's another kind of the split Corona cup. Very interesting to see all the different forms and styles of these daffodils, and I kind of wanted to expand my collection. Moving on to the ranunculus that I'm adding to the garden this year. From Floret, I am going to be growing Tiger. Very cool, kind of reminiscent of the Picote ones, but with kind of a green center, so it will be cool to see what those look like in real life. Also growing the Juliet. I always love the pink ranunculus. They're always one of my favorites, but the main thing that drew me to the Juliet one is that it's supposedly, the flowers are really, really large, which I am into. The bigger the flowers, the better. Sign me up. I love it. Hopefully we'll have some really good success with that. I also got the La Belle Chocolate Ranunculus, just because I'm always intrigued when anything is labeled as chocolate. So hopefully they'll be kind of a rusty burgundy color. Also trying Chamello, or Chamello, I don't know how to say it, for the first time this year, and I think the picture does it justice. I mean, it's white and pink and pastel and soft, and yes please. Also trying Super Greens for the first time ever. I've seen Super Greens for sale a long time, before, and I've always kind of wanted to grow it, but it seems like they're always a little bit more expensive, and I've never kind of just gone for it, like, go ahead, get the Super Greens. And this year, I'm just finally going to go for it. I'm going to grow some super greens. That's really about it. I'm just amazed at the garden this year. It's done so well, and I'm especially amazed at all these dahlias. If you have any comments about any of the varieties that I'm growing this year, be sure to leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. Are you growing any of those same ones? Here in the next few weeks, I am hoping to add a few of the tulip bulbs and daffodil bulbs to my online store. But I honestly, I don't know what that's going to look like just because several orders are delayed and there's a lot going on right now. As always, links to all my stuff is down in the description below. You can find the blog there. I'm updating posts about each of the dahlia varieties that I grew this season, so that might be helpful. You can also find the link to our Patreon, which helps with video editing and getting things, you know, for the channel. And like I just had to buy a new microphone, that's a whole different story, but it really does help. Every little bit does. I especially appreciate you watching this video. Be sure to leave a comment like I mentioned and hit like or whatever because YouTube loves engagement. So I'd really be appreciative of that to help us out with the algorithm. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon. All that good stuff. We're just trying to grow our little garden community here. Everybody is welcome. We make videos about flowers, growing vegetables, all kinds of stuff, sometimes DIY projects, so you never really know quite what you're gonna get or what to expect, really. As always, a link to the soap shop and the wax melt subscription box is down there as well. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I always have like 1,000 things to say here at the end of the video. I hope that you guys are having such an incredible day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys.